The Duchess of Cornwall has been a supporter of Poetry Together, which brings young and old people together through the joy of poetry. After reciting a poem, the Duchess shared her favorite recipe for upcoming tea parties. The Duchess of Cornwall has shared her recipe for Victoria sponge cake, revealing she sometimes swaps out the traditional jam and cream filling for Nutella. Camilla, 74, who lives in Clarence House in London with Prince Charles, shared a photo to Instagram posing with a freshly baked cake, revealing she's sharing the recipe in celebration of the return of Poetry Together tea parties. She posted on the Instagram page of At Clarence House a picture of her holding a well-presented Victoria sponge. The cake is named after her husband's great-great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria. The picture shows Camilla in a purple jumper with a white shirt underneath, holding the traditionally baked cake topped with icing sugar and filled with cream and fresh strawberries. The caption from the official Clarence House account read, "The Duchess has shared her recipe for a Victoria sponge for young and older. I like to enjoy after reciting a poem by heart together." Launched by Giles Brandreth in 2019, the Poetry Together initiative aims to unite people of all ages through the power of poetry, and not forgetting plenty of tea and cake. After signing up, schools will be linked with their local care homes, allowing pupils and care home residents to come together to recite poetry together. This year's events will be particularly special as schoolchildren and the elderly will be able to convene in person once again following last year's event being forced online due to the pandemic. While the Duchess's photo showed a more classic cake, her recipe revealed she sometimes opts for the likes of Nutella or lemon curd for the filling. The Duchess starts by preheating the oven to the gas Mark III or 170 degrees. The ingredients include 4 oz self-raising flour, 110 grams, sifted. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 4 oz soft margarine or butter, 110 grams, at room temperature. 4 oz caster sugar, 110 grams. 2 large eggs. 2 or 3 drops of pure vanilla essence. The recipe also suggests adding lemon curd or jam, with optional fresh cream, or Nutella or your filling of choice and sifting icing sugar. She then prepared 2 7-inch sponge tins, no less than 1 inch deep, lightly greased and lined with greaseproof paper. She takes a large mixing bowl and sifts flours and baking powder, holding the sieve high to give the flour a good airing. Camilla then adds all the other ingredients and whisks them, ideally with an electric hand whisk. If the mixture doesn't drop off a wooden spoon easily when tapped on the side of the bowl, then add 1 or 2 teaspoons of tap warm water, and whisk again. The Duchess then divides the mix between 2 prepared tins, levels off and bakes for 30 minutes. When cooked, she recommends leaving them in the tins for about 30 seconds, to then loosen the edges by sliding a palette knife and turn them onto a wire cooling rack. Finally, she peels off the base papers carefully. When cool, it's time to sandwich the cakes together with lemon curd, jam or Nutella, and dust with icing sugar. The recipe also adds, "The Duchess loves poetry and chocolate, too." You can make a chocolate version of the Poetry Together cake if you like. Simply omit the vanilla essence and add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder to the basic ingredients. Poetry Together is an initiative to bring together young and old and share the joy of reciting poetry by heart. The initiative sees schools connect with a local care home, with pupils and residents learning the same poem off by heart. Each group rehearsed the poem ahead of the event today, where they performed in front of a crowded room. Last year, the royal bakers shared a recipe for the Queen's Victoria sponge cake, which is often shared at garden parties. Posting to the royal family's official Instagram account, the Buckingham Palace cooks revealed the cake was named after Queen Victoria, who regularly ate a slice of sponge cake with her tea each afternoon.